How's it going, YouTube? My name is Ari and welcome to Blue Lion Finance, a channel dedicated to investing in my personal journey to amassing $100,000 with my Vanguard brokerage account. And while yes, the markets were closed today for President's Day, by no means that means the world has stopped turning. Matter of fact, just this past Friday, heading into the weekend and now into the week ahead, we had tensions between Russia and Ukraine getting worse and worse, ultimately meaning that we may be on the brink of war between these two countries that will certainly impact the market, making for near-term volatility, which I want to get to in today's video at a macro level overview for you as an investor. And then most importantly, just jump right into 3 lifetime dividend investments that we can make that, because of all of this volatility, are certainly trading at bargain prices. Now, ultimately, my account as of this past Friday fell by $2,614.47. Sitting at $83,833.21 on the day. However, as that long-term value investor, I'm using every single opportunity to capitalize on the volatility. Now, before we dive in, go ahead, tap on that thumbs up button and help me grow this channel. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed, make your way over to doing so. I'd certainly love to have each and every one of you on this journey with me. Now, YouTube, let's go ahead and dive right in. So as mentioned, the very first thing I want to do is, at least on a macro level overview, talk about what's happening between Russia and the Ukraine, because in understanding just this macro level overview, we as investors can make better, more informed decisions for our longer term financial futures. And while we may be sitting in front of our computers saying, well, this isn't really going to impact me, what's happening over there is happening over there, that is just not true, and it will directly impact us as it has already been doing. We can see that playing through just in the market alone, with all 3 composites this past Friday falling. And now here we are asking ourselves what's about to come in the week ahead. And if there is an all-out war that breaks out between Russia and Ukraine, how exactly is that going to impact us, as we're already battling high inflation, upwards of 7.5%, and then of course supply chain disruption issues. Now, ultimately, when taking a look at what exactly an all-out war could do to the market as a whole, we're just talking about intensified pricing pressure as well as further supply chain disruption issues. And just taking a look even agriculturally at what Ukraine delivers to the table, Ukraine is a major exporter of grain. Or even if we go ahead and look at semiconductors, we're talking about Russia and Ukraine playing a major role in semiconductor production, with 90% of US semiconductor grade neon supplies coming out of Ukraine and 35% of US palladium sourced from Russia. Now, just think about that. If there is a war, there are certainly going to be implications on how exactly we're going to be getting our supply to continue on the manufacturing of semiconductors. And then of course, even just talking about energy in and of itself, the global supply level, we are talking about the EU being heavily hit because Russia is supplying about 30% of their energy supply. And just think about all of the ripple effects that are about to happen. However, this is all going to be near-term implications, which means as that long-term value investor, this is all just the opportunity that we can capitalize on, which is exactly why I'm doubling down on lifetime investments. So without further ado, I want to first begin with talking about how one man's trash can literally turn into another man's treasure. So the very first company I want to talk about is Waste Management, ticker symbol WM. Waste Management is of course a company focused on, well, waste management, and ultimately that means garbage disposal, recycling, and dumpster rentals. They were founded back in 1968, and since their founding have actually established themselves as an industry leader. And as long as we all keep throwing out our trash, well, Waste Management is going to be in business. Now, more recently, they released their earnings. They were up by 15% in terms of revenue year over year. And in terms of their net income, up by 16%, totaling $506 million as trash volume went up. Now, Waste Management does in fact face margin pressure from inflation, which ultimately spooked a lot of investors as their stock share price fell from $166 per share down to around $142 per share, making for a 14% discount opportunity for all of us longer term investors out here. Now, like I said, as long as all of us are throwing out our trash, Waste Management will continue to be in business. Now, just looking into Waste Management's future, they have a ton of projects dealing with recycling as well as renewable energy, which is certainly making analysts incredibly excited, as they're coming in at a median stock share price at $163.50 and a high stock share price at $183 per share. As we're dealing with a quality dividend investment, we get to kick back and collect on Waste Management's dividend at a current dividend yield at 1.61%. Coming up on our second stock opportunity of the day, I want to talk about a company that was founded back in 1886 and has actually established itself as a dividend king, joining that elite list. We're talking about American Water Works, ticker symbol AWR. Now, American Water Works is a water utility company that not only services communities throughout the United States, but Canada as well. And of course, their big focus comes down to safe drinking water and wastewater systems as well. Now, very similarly to Waste Management, American Water came out with exceptionally strong earnings. However, just amidst all of the volatility, inclusive more so on the interest rate hikes to come, we have utility plays like American Water that actually are going to take the initial hit as investors are trying to gauge what exactly the interest rates are going to look like in the coming months, and ultimately leaving for American Water's stock share price to fall. It fell from around $103 a share down to around $86 a share. That's about a 16% discount opportunity for all of us long-term value investors, again, looking to get invested into a company that's not going to be disappearing anytime soon. And most importantly is just taking a look at American Water's dividend. They're a dividend king with 67 years worth of consecutive dividend payments and increases year over year. Their current dividend yield is sitting at 1.72%. Now, analysts only believe they're going to continue to rebound, coming back up to a median stock share price of at least $97 per share, a high stock share price at $101 per share. My personal opinion is that as time goes on, they're just going to continue to grow, making it a perfect dividend investment for the long-term investor. And last but not least, I want to talk about a company that, in my opinion, certainly flies underneath the investor's radar, however, is incredibly lucrative. We're talking about Fastener Company, ticker symbol FAST. Fastener Company is North America's largest distributor of fasteners. We're talking about anything from nuts, bolts, washers, adhesives, tapes, sealants. Now, Fastener Company has over 55 years worth of continued growth and delivering through to the market on quality products, helping them reach a market capitalization sitting just under $30 billion. Now, as I mentioned, it is a lower flying under the radar type of investment opportunity, which is to say it may not be the sexiest one out there, but as I mentioned, a lucrative play nonetheless. And just taking a look at their dividends, they're rewarding their investors with a 2.42% dividend yield. Now, best yet, amidst all of this volatility is the fact that Fastener Company is in fact discounted as we speak. Rather recently, it fell from $63 per share down to around $51 per share, presenting a 19% discount opportunity for the long-term value investors. Now, analysts certainly believe Fastener Company is not only going to rebound, but continue to grow, coming in at a median stock share price at $56.50 a share, a high stock share price at $65 per share. Now, because it is that highly reliable dividend investment opportunity, that's all you have to do is kick back and relax and collect on that dividend all along the way. Now, YouTube, that is it. Between Waste Management, American Water, and Fastener Company, the three high-quality, long-term, lifetime dividend investments that we can make right now, picking each of them up at a bit of a discount, which is exactly what we're in the business of doing during this volatility, especially with companies that are delivering through on rock-solid growth, as you can see over time. Each of these three have done exactly that, and I only predict they're going to continue to perform very well moving into the future. Personally, I've liked what you heard, you learned something new. Drop those comments below. I'd certainly love to read through them and understand what your thoughts are on these companies. If you're planning on investing or if they're in your portfolio, keep in mind I'm not a financial advisor, so just do your due diligence prior to making any investment moves following my videos. However, go ahead, tap on that thumbs up button and help me grow this channel. Certainly appreciate that. And most importantly is subscribing to the channel as well. I want each and every one of you on this journey with me. Now, YouTube, until the next video, I will see you all there.